is still, despite the fact that last year examination of prelims, this year examination of prelims is considered to be relatively difficult, 35 questions, and that too I can demarcate which 35 questions were asked directly from NCERT. पढ़िए 2 ही पेज, but वो 2 पेज ऐसी एनालिसिस होनी चाहिए that should be multi-dimensional, taking things from various vantage points. And that's the reason why they keep optional in your examination, where paper 1 is something where they try to understand whether you're analyzing the things or not in various dimensions. It's not the talent, it's the focus which matters. Why I want to join civil service? I want to serve society. आपके मन में इकोनॉमी नहीं आई, ये आई भी तो भी नहीं बोला because of ethics and culture. And one of the reasons why sociology and public administration or political science is popular, because these subjects in nature are generic. Optional में 50 number extra लाना is much easier than getting 50 extra in GS. Many of the students from other than sociology background, even they were recommended कि यार ये topic तुम sociology वाले किसी class से कर लो.
Congratulations on clearing UPSC 2024. Watching you succeed is really inspiring.
Thanks. I have been in your shoes. I know how overwhelming the start feels.
Exactly. There's so much to cover, I don't even know where to begin.
I felt the same. That's why I joined the GS Foundation course by Vision Eyes, which offers structured classes, expert faculty, and regular revision. It gave me clarity and momentum.
And you stayed consistent with it?
Yes, I followed the complete roadmap offered by the course. If you're aiming for 2026, start with this course. It offers you holistic coverage with every stage of the exam covered seamlessly. This is where your journey will truly begin.
Got it. I will definitely explore the course. Where can I find the details?
Just visit their website or call on the given numbers.
I'm sure I have been told a lot about paper 2 now. Fine. So, as ma'am have discussed that what exactly sociology is, paper 2, how to move on, how to what is called right answers and all these kind of things. I'll talk about something unconventional a bit, which often not discussed here and there, but might be significant. So, first thing first, if I start with a question to you, please listen to this question carefully. If I ask you that do one thing, I need a cook for my house, so please arrange one cook for my house. You said, no problem, sir, that will be arranged. And look, I'm not telling you a story, I'm trying to communicate something. So my request is that kindly recruit a cook for my home. You said, no problem, sir, it will be done. You advertise in the newspaper, cook needed. And let's say 4 or 5 people applied for it. You said in the advertisement that there will be one test, written test, and then there will be a kind of interaction interview, and on that basis selection will be done of the candidate who is going to be cook. Let's say 2, 3 people, 4 people turned up, and you ask the question, write about ladyfinger. Write about ladyfinger. Mr. A writes, the botanical name of ladyfinger is so and so. Ladyfinger on a floral diagram is so and so. All the botany he was knowing, he wrote it there. Will you recruit Mr. A? Who is going to recruit Mr. A? Will you recruit? No. Yes. No. Why? Look at the intellectual knowledge, background he's having. My God, all intellectualism, all botany. Why not? Actual need is? What is actual need? We need a cook, not a botanist. Isn't it? You have not done this mistake, and UPSC will do. What UPSC examination is all about? We want academicians. And that's the mistake you do. You write answers with that orientation. I hope you're getting my example now. That's why I said I will discuss something unconventional. Most of them, they write with that academic. We are not searching academicians. Had it been the case, we would have said at least 60% in masters, must be JRF, this and that. We are to saying take any subject of your choice. We are least bothered whether you have read that subject in graduation or not. That means we are not searching some intellectuals. And most of them, they think reading this book more, this book more, this book more will make my chances better. अब सोच के देखो, Mr. A is not getting selected. What will say outside? My God, exam, the world is very difficult now. For a cook, also this much knowledge is not good enough. Let's buy another book of botany because ladyfinger has been asked. He will search on ChatGPT and AI, Grok, a little more about biology of ladyfinger. I hope you're getting ये सब बाहर हो रहा है. That's why I started from something unconventional. Are not most of the students doing this thing? Reading n number of books, n number of documents, and even doing up to not only documents, ChatGPT also, what Grok is saying, what other AI tools are saying, and so and so. And next time, even making it more academic and more bulkier. Look, sir and madam, in this examination is still the selection of age. If you see that age selection is average age selection is still how much? 23, 24. Youngsters are getting more selected than elder. Had it been the knowledge test, for sure, those who are on the higher age, they would have been selected more. Because by any logic, they are reading more. So someone age of 21, 22, 23 getting selected, if on an average. I'm not saying that, again, many a time what happens that candidate get woke up in the last attempt itself. Is still more than 35% of the candidates get selected in their last attempt. Because this is the time when they get serious actually. Ki nahi, ab to padhna padega, we don't have much of choices. So first thing first, this has to be clear in your minds. In fact, this orientation session is also having an objective, whether you're here or not, you should carry something with you. So this one thing will help you to escape from so many things which many of them are doing. और यही लोग हैं बाहर जो बता रहे हैं ये बुक नहीं पढ़ा तुमने, वो बुक नहीं पढ़ा तुमने. Still, despite the fact that last year examination of prelims, this year examination of prelims is considered to be relatively difficult, 35 questions, and that too I can demarcate which 35 questions were asked directly from NCERT. And 39 or 40 is the cutoff. Now look, you are least bothered about this part. What you're more interested in, that Ricina Hills dialogues must be clear to me. As if you are going to be the policy maker to decide what to do on tariff. Grow up. Get your fundamentals right. Get your fundamentals. Yes, once your fundamentals are right, you understand the relevance of tariff and so on. You're still not in the right place or not well informed to understand all the variables. So first thing first, don't be A. Making sense? And they are those who are outside who had made this examination their own self-proclaimed stories and portraying as if it is larger than thou. Simple examination, youngsters are getting selected. Look at them, look at their body language, look at their knowledge, limited, but they have sharp eyes. इस पे बात करेंगे. This is what I want to tell you. Mr. B is writing, तो A को तो आप नहीं रखोगे ना, भले सीट वैकेंट रह जाए, दोबारा टेस्ट करना पड़े. You are not going to recruit A for sure, because you don't need botanist. Mr. B is writing, lady finger can be cooked in gravy this way, in dry this way. A or B? B. B you may consider कि चलो खाना बनाना आता है, can. C is writing, lady finger can be cooked in dry this way, in gravy this way, in oven this way, on chulha this way, what you call hearth or chulha. Lady finger is having these many vitamins, these many minerals. These people must take lady finger, these people should not take lady finger, and so and so. ABC, किसको? C. Why? B और C में C अच्छा क्यों लगा आपको? Multi-dimensional analysis. This is the key word. Read less, analyze more in multi-dimension. पढ़िए 2 ही पेज, but वो 2 पेज ऐसी analysis होनी चाहिए that should be multi-dimensional, taking things from various vantage points. And that's the reason why they keep optional in your examination. Where paper 1 is something where they try to understand whether you're analyzing the things or not in various dimensions. So don't be A, try to be C. Even in GS also, it's not just mindlessly gathering the information. It's about processing information well. Right? Making sense? Now, one more thing. Again, if I ask you, I hope this question has made some sense to you. Am I sounding logical to you? हमने अपनी बेसिक गलती नहीं करी कि चाहिए था कुक तो हमने बॉटनिस्ट नहीं रखा. यूपीएससी करेगा नहीं. They want what? They want bureaucrats, not academicians. And who's a bureaucrat? What exactly bureaucrat does? Bureaucrat is nothing but manager for government. And a manager knows various dimensions to manage the given thing. Isn't it? आप कुछ नहीं, simple, in simple words, you are nothing but manager for the government. If I could say simply, despite all flowery languages and all, it's manager for the government so that we can manage the country's resources for the betterment of the people. Keeping the viewpoints in mind, right? Second thing, if I ask you another question, what are those factors which made this class possible? What is going to be your answer? What are those factors which made this very classroom possible? What are going to be answer? वो कौन से factors हैं जिसकी वजह से ये class possible हो पा रही है? मेरी वजह से और आपकी वजह से भी, obviously. Yes. What? Like infrastructure and all, physical facilities, students' demand, organization, your interest in sociology, paper of UPSC, advertisement. Yes. I hope first point is clear to you. It's not about just mindlessly reading the things academically. Now I'm talking about second thing, which is again very important. Board पे देखिए क्या लिखा हुआ है. What is written? मैं खुद बता रहा हूं, there are more than one. और आप मुझे एक एक जवाब दे रहे हो. Listening and reading is an art. Penetration. That's why I said read less, but have that penetrating. मैं खुद बोल रहा हूं एक से ज्यादा है. Next time watch questions carefully. वो हिंट दे रहा होता है. क्वेश्चन खुद बता रहा होता है आपको कि मैं क्या चाह रहा हूं. मैंने deliberately factors लिखा है just to ask that whether you can show me this or not. They are definitely more than once, that's why he's writing factors. Otherwise, it is written factor/factors. I hope I'm communicating to you. Every question of prelims and mains, GS or optional, reading things, even reading question carefully, cautiously means half the job done. Most of the time, that's what is a theory of Daniel Kahneman, what is called thinking fast and slow. जैसे मैं फिर आपसे अगर पूछूं, क्या लग रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? क्या बोल रहा हूं? What I'm trying to say? Huh? Yes, please, no issue. जिंदाबाद, हाँ, all right, पक्का जिंदाबाद. क्या जिंदाबाद हो रहने देते हैं. All right, जिंदाबाद. This is what is coming to mind. Look, मैंने बोला ऐसे, आपने कहा जिंदाबाद. आप में से कितने लोग इसको सॉल्व कर पाएंगे? आई थिंक एवरीवन. बट ऐसे नहीं कि तुरंत देख के जिंदाबाद बोल दिया. यू आर प्रोसेसिंग इट स्टेप बाय स्टेप. Another mistake you do often in this examination, you react, don't process. आपने देखा, हाँ मुझे पता है, मैं पॉलिटी जानता हूँ, मैंने पढ़ा है, मैंने हिस्ट्री. प्रोसेस द क्वेश्चन. यू नो व्हाट, पीटी में तो मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, पीटी इससे आसान क्या हो सकता है, बिकॉज पेपर सेट करने वाले के दिमाग में आंसर है पहले से और तब क्वेश्चन बनाया गया है. तो ऑब्वियसली द क्वेश्चन इज हैविंग आंसर विद इन इट. अगर आपको प्रोसेसिंग समझ में, दिस इज थ्योरी ऑफ डेनियल कॉलहनमैन. He got Nobel Prize for it, thinking fast and slow. हम अक्सर जल्दी सोचते हैं, we react to the situation. जबकि होना चाहिए था पहले तो ये क्यों कह रहे हैं, क्या पर्पस हो सकता था यहाँ, क्लास में इसका जिंदाबाद कहने का कोई मतलब है भी कि नहीं. दिस इज प्रोसेसिंग. इसलिए while doing the things, while reading the things, दो तीन चीजें चाहिए होगी. एक तो read with utmost focus. This is one of my favorite lines of Kapil Dev. कपिल देव ने एक बार एक बहुत अच्छी लाइन बोली थी, इट्स नॉट द टैलेंट, इट्स द फोकस व्हिच मैटर्स. टैलेंट बतेरों के पास है, आपसे बहुत घूम रहे हैं टैलेंट वाले. कि अगर आपको गफलत है कि आपके पास टैलेंट है तो बतेरे घूम रहे हैं. देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ देम आउट देयर. इट्स द फोकस व्हिच डिटरमाइन द थिंग्स, नॉट द टैलेंट. और फोकस आप देखिए, फैक्टर्स मैंने सामने लिखा था. मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ, यू ऑलवेज राइट व्हेन आई आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन कि what are those factors which made this class possible. आपने जितनी बातें कही, advertisement, infrastructure, both of us are present, your interest in the subject, but you have answered me inappropriately. If there were, let's say, 4 factors, you answered me 1. And if the question was of 10 marks, you'll get 2.5. Simple. And that's why you score less in UPSC, क्योंकि आप कितने ध्यान से questions देख रहे हो. The moment you see the question and you know it, you jump on it. अरे ये तो मुझे पता है. Now I will answer what best I am knowing instead of, and most of the time you answer what best you are knowing instead of what question has been asked. और इस एग्जाम में बहुत कम स्पेस इसीलिए देते हैं, so that I can see whether you're focusing on the question or not. Now, in general, what I'm going to say next, इसको सोशियोलॉजी में आप पढ़ते भी हो, पार्सोनियन थ्योरी, this is called system theory. In general, whenever anything happens, there are 4 factors responsible. Something structural, something political, something economic, something cultural. This is when this class is possible because there is structure. There is political dimension. There is management who manage the things, might have advertised for it, and so and so. There is economic dimension. Very important. Why I want to join civil service? I want to serve society. Everything has an economic dimension into it. So there is structural dimension, there is political dimension, there is economic dimension, and there is a cultural dimension. आपके मन में इकोनॉमी नहीं आई, ये आई भी तो भी नहीं बोला because of ethics and culture. कि यार बोलना अच्छा नहीं लगेगा क्लास में. Like he wanted to say जिंदाबाद, but he did not say. Why I'm saying so? Now watch carefully. Everything has 4 units. Not a surprise. In GS you got 4 papers. Did you notice? Paper 1 is about infrastructure. Paper 2 is about political dimension. Paper 3 is economic. Paper 4 is ethical. It is not just coincidence. Why I'm trying to say, because I'm setting this narrative that why optional and how you should approach it. Many of think ki optional is like what we have done in MA, that we have to study. What we have done in BA, that is what we have to study. No, you need to understand that what exactly the purpose is. So first thing first, you have to understand this is not an academic pursuit. Second, you have to understand that here they want to see whether you have multivariate analysis or not, whether you can see the things from various vantage point, and that too with a generic mindset. You should not have a specialization in the thing, but a generic idea. You may not exactly calculate that what is the costing of this class. That might be CA's work, but you know that there is some costing of this class and some finance might be needed. Making sense? Are you getting the difference between the two? वो आपको सीए की टीम मिल जाएगी एज ए ब्यूरोक्रेट ये कैलकुलेट करने के लिए कि एग्जैक्टली कितनी कॉस्टिंग आएगी, बट यू शुड नो देयर इज सम कॉस्टिंग इन्वॉल्व्ड, विदाउट दैट दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. Now, this is the general nature of your UPSC, where they want you to have multivariate analysis, and that too thinking things from economic perspective, from political perspective, from infrastructural perspective, from cultural perspective. Not a surprise. This is the reason why sociology is one of the popular subjects, because sociology by nature is also generic and tries to understand the given social reality from various perspectives. तो ये just coincidence नहीं है that sociology, political science, and for that matter even geography especially, अगर हम देखें तो ये कुछ ही disciplines क्यों popular होते हैं. Why? Because they by default are having that analytical approach, generalistic analytical approach, which is needed in UPSC. So if you have that approach, generalistic approach, when you can see the things from various dimensions, you will be benefited. Making sense? So first thing first, it's not academic pursuit. Second, this examination is more of generalistic nature, where you should understand various dimensions from when you should understand various vantage points, you should understand how the reality is governed by one factor, another factor, and so and so. Same goes with optional also. So in the optional, what they do? In the optional, they try to understand, each optional, there are two papers, paper 1, paper 2, where they try to understand whether you can apply this generalistic approach or not. That's why when you look at the question, they are not very scholarly. Questions will not be very scholarly, but they want to know whether you are understanding the meanings and the dimensions or not. And one of the reasons why sociology and public administration or political science is popular, because these subjects in nature are generic, which is the requirement of the UPSC. Before I step into sociology paper 1, एक आध छोटी सी बात और भी मैं करना चाहूँगा, that many a time people think that what are the criteria to determine a subject, कि optional लेने के लिए क्या criteria हो. I often say there are 3 criteria that you should consider. While determining which optional you should take, there are 3 criteria that you should consider. ये पूरा pretext उसी के लिए है. पहला criteria ये है that you should have interest in the subject. If you don't have interest in the subject, no matter how small or big that subject is, you cannot sustain for long. And you know what? How many of you, I'm sure you're knowing at least football if not played. In football, there's one defender and there's one attacker. आपका डिफेंडर कितना भी अच्छा हो, आप उससे मैच जीत नहीं सकते. डिफेंडर खराब हो तो मैच हार सकते हो आप, isn't it? GS are like defenders. GS के भरोसे, on basis of GS, you cannot win the game. गेम हमेशा आप कहाँ जीतते हो? ऑप्शनल से. Optional say, and that's why determining your optional is one of the very critical decisions of your preparation. So you win by your optional. Optional में 50 number extra लाना is much easier than getting 50 extra in GS. So first thing first, you should have interest in your subject. If you don't have interest in that subject, going for this long for 6, 7, 8 months and repeating it again and again will not be possible. In case of sociology, I can tell you generally ऐसा कोई दिखता नहीं जिसको sociology में interest ना हो. It's a generic subject. We are talking things from the same society, the same reality from various vantage points. लेकिन फिर भी I often advise कि you should read NCERT class 11th Introduction to Sociology, at least few chapters. That will give you some hint whether you're liking the subject or not. So if while reading those pages, while reading those chapters, if you did not have any problem or boredom, then you can consider sociology. Second thing or second determinant to determine which subject you should choose is scoring pattern and the length of the subject. This is where sociology comes to upper hand. Because in sociology, the beauty is, the best part is, syllabus is very clearly demarcated. Exactly, छोटी-छोटी चीजें भी लिखी हुई हैं कि इतना ही आपको पढ़ना है. Syllabus relatively, if you compare sociology with other subjects, अब जैसे physics में, there are so many things. In chemistry, there are so many things. In biology, in maths, there is no limit. But in sociology, at least you have a clear-cut boundary. Syllabus is well defined and relatively shorter. And there is no technicality involved either. That makes it handy for you. So first, whether you like the subject or not, it's you to decide. I can't say that whether you should. If you ask me, I'll say yes, sociology is a good subject. Second, I can tell you that yes, sociology is relatively shorter from the given options. In the given options, there are barely 1 or 2 subjects which are shorter than sociology. Otherwise, sociology is one of the shortest syllabus, and that too is not having much of technicality. So can be done easily. Can be done easily, but यहाँ पे ये भी है कि I have seen student get complacent कि ये तो हो ही जाएगा. वो भी नहीं होना चाहिए. But yes, it can be done easily in a given time framework, because in this examination, time is limiting factor. बहुत कुछ पढ़ना है. Time is limiting factor. So in that, sociology helps. I agree. Third thing, which is important in determining your optional, that what is general scoring pattern and availability of material resources and so and so. Even in that, sociology also gets handy to you, because for sociology, now we have various good materials available. Materials are not the problem. Like there are some subjects where you don't have enough of material, from where to read, what to read and all. Sociology, you don't have that problem. And scoring pattern of sociology is good. The good part of sociology is that nobody is there who comes less than 120, 130, on an average, if you have done even a decent, because being generic and commonsensical a bit, though it's not commonsensical per se, but being generic, थोड़ा generic है, तो अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं भी पढ़ पाए, ऐसा sociology में out of 500, 250 is very easily achievable. थोड़े से मेहनत के साथ you can achieve 250, and that is where, in fact, I may sound like bragging, but I can say with proud, अभी तक की सबसे ज़्यादा scorer sociology की, that has been my classroom student. अभी तक का highest scorer उसका. But इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मेरी वजह से था. अगर मेरी वजह से तो सबको होना चाहिए था. That's why be analytical. अगर मैं कहूँ मेरे पढ़ाने से आपका सिलेक्शन हो गया, तो फिर तो सबका होना चाहिए था. सब पढ़ रहे थे. But there were other things also. Maybe she was very focused, revise the things more. And so, but yes, and an average student I have seen who have given mains, उसके 250 तो आ ही जाते हैं. तो एक concept होता है ना मैनेजमेंट में, me too, कि कम से कम इतना तो आ ही रहा है. In fact, have you noticed कि if you want to open a shop of goldsmith, you will go to the Chandni Chowk, because you know that somehow something will come. Footfall will increase. So similarly, in sociology, at least 250 is easily achievable. 250 to 280, a few fixes and you are at 280. Little more push to yourself before the examination, well in time, maybe touching 300. Beyond 300 is your luck. That depends how was your day that day. Because 300 के ऊपर जितना भी मार्क्स है, that is greed. जितना भी आप सोच रहे हो कितना आ जाए, 300 is manageable. Last year second ranker, again 298 I guess was the score. So it's possible. So these two things where sociology is supportive: A, that syllabus is shorter. sizably overlaps with your GS. It is something which can be managed in lesser time because not having much of technicalities and resources are available. Like for paper 1, may not be for paper 2, but for paper 1, Nitin Sangwan's book Essential of Sociology, by and large suffice the purpose. काफी हद तक help करती है. To a great extent, it helps us to to understand that what to focus and so. So part 1 is what you have to decide. Because I'm told that here you might be taking or you might be thinking that which option I should take. In that case, I'll say part 1 you have to decide that whether should and whether you're liking the subject or not. But please, just because XYZ has taken the subject and topped, it does not mean you should also take that subject. Right? Because अगर ऐसा है कि आपको सब्जेक्ट में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं आ रहा तो फिर बेकार है. फिर तो आप कोई फायदा नहीं है. फिर आप चाहे जितना नो मैटर कितना स्मॉल है, नो मैटर कितना वो पॉपुलर है and all these kind of things. So first you have to determine on your own, or the scientific way is read few chapters of Introduction to Sociology class 11th. वो आप ऑनलाइन भी देख सकते हो और उसमें आपको you will come to know कि how comfortable you are. So मैंने 3 बातें अब तक की. 2 of them were generic to understand that in UPSC itself, what you should keep in mind. First, I said it's not an academic pursuit. So instead of reading too much, whatever you're reading, go to the standard material, read it carefully, revise more, analyze more. Second, I said have that precision and have multivariate analysis, structural, function, then what is political, what is economic, what is cultural, what is environmental, and so and so. Right? And third said, while choosing your optional, there are 3 criteria that you have to consider. Third, what are these 3 criteria? First, your interest. Second, whether the syllabus is shorter and overlaps with the GS or not. And third, whether the material is available and what is the scoring pattern. In the last 2, yes, sociology is on the upper hand. And there's a reason why sociology is so popular. Making sense? I hope I'm making sense to you. Now, when it comes to Sociology Paper 1, now I'm assuming that, let's say you are on the basis of all these, now you have decided that you are going to take sociology. So now what you have to do, if you have decided that you are going to take sociology, Sociology Paper 1 is something which is close-ended. Close-ended means here the boundary is demarcated. मालूम है कि आपको इतने में ही करना है. What you have to focus upon. And in paper 1, if you see, in Sociology Paper 1, 180, somewhere close to 180 is possible. I often say to the student, your target should be 180 in paper 1 and somewhere 130 plus minus 10-20 marks in paper 2. 180 is possible in paper 1 because it is close-ended. You know the boundaries well. कि हाँ ये चीज़ हमें ध्यान रखनी है. Now, when it comes to paper 1, there are 10 topics. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm keeping it short because obviously once you are taking classes anywhere, you will get a detailed analysis of it. So if you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there are 10 topics. There is no such segmental division like in other optional, what you call section A, section B. Topic 1 is about sociology as a subject when it emerged. This topic is important from examination point of view for short notes. So I'm giving you quick references here. This topic is good for short notes. And generally, as you know, in optional, question number 1 and question number 5 comes compulsory. Compulsory, you have to do all the questions and from rest you can choose. So topic 1 is good for what is called your short notes question, that is compulsory question. And it is called Sociology the Discipline. Very good topic. Here you understand how sociology emerged, how sociology related with other subjects. And there's one very interesting topic, very frequently asked, including this year, is साल भी आया था, sociology and common sense. That how common sense and sociology are correlated and how they are different. So this topic is good for short notes purposes. Second topic is sociology, the science. Sociology is a science because this is a debate whether it is pure science or it is something which is between science and what you can say, whatever the whole debate we have in social sciences, whether it's a pure science or whether it is something humanities, social sciences, and so and so. So sociology as science, again good for short note. Third topic is very important called research methods. From here you get at least in the entire paper 1, from research method you get at least 40 to 60 marks question. At least 40 to 60 marks question. That research methods, that what are the various research methods, how they are used. Because if I want to know whether you're knowing subject or not, this is the right approach. And it also will tell me your analytical mindset. That's why this topic. Fourth topic is about thinkers. Quite discussed. जब भी आप सोशियोलॉजी के बारे में किसी से बात करते हो, thinkers and all. So in this we have 6 thinkers: Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, then we have Max Weber, we have Talcott Parsons, we have what is called Robert Merton and George Herbert Mead. These 6 thinkers, they make the backbone of paper 1. अगर किसी ने thinkers ठीक से कर लिया, तो trust me, मुझे ऐसा कोई student नहीं देखा जिसको thinkers ठीक से हो गए हो, if they have done thinkers properly, और उसका paper 1 में 140 plus ना आया हो. It is very highly unlikely that if you have done thinkers, because thinkers are everywhere. So sociology में अगर कुछ difficult है तो बस वो यही है कि आपको thinkers के नाम और उनके concepts थोड़े याद रखने पड़ते हैं. Rest तो is very commonsensical kind of. So this is how fourth topic is very, very important. Fifth topic is about stratification and mobility. Again, every year you get 1 or 2 questions because they represent the entire paper. Sixth topic is work and economic life. पहले इससे questions नहीं आते थे, but now we can see कि a lot of questions from work and economic life, like this year there was about gig workers and these kind of things. So work and economic life is another very important topic from where they ask question. Seventh topic is politics and society. Politics and society. Again, you know what? If someone has done this topic here properly, and I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, many of the students from other than sociology background, even they were recommended कि यार ये topic तुम sociology वाले किसी class से कर लो. Because here we understand fundamentally what is nation, what is state, what makes democracy, what is our social movements, what are the features of social movement, and these kind of things. There in polity, you understand the, let's say detailing of it. And these two together makes your GS better also. So politics and society asked here also and very useful from GS point of view. Eighth topic is about religion. Religion and society. वैसे भी religion is the last resort. So मैं यहाँ भी बोलता हूँ class में भी कि you should consider this topic as last resort. भगवान को तभी याद करेंगे जब जरूरत पड़ जाए तो. नहीं तो तब तक, because religion is always a subjective thing. तो यहाँ पे always there is some inherent subjectivity involved. Ninth topic is systems of kinship. Here you talk about what is family, marriage, kinship, and they ask questions. जैसे इस बार उन्होंने question पूछा है कि do you think that queer kinship is emerging as a new queer kinship, you understand? Homosexuals and gay and lesbian families. So they have asked, do you think this is a new norm comparison to the traditional family structure? So again, we have topic like patriarchy, sexual division of labor. Then ये ऐसा topic है जिसमें youngsters को बड़ा मजा आता है. Most of them are dreaming of these things also, no? Marriage and all. So वो भी एक reason होता है. तो marriage, systems, kinship. But हाँ, this has a fair representation in paper 1. And 10th topic is again about social change. ये बहुत useful आपके essay के लिए, because the kind of essays they are asking now, this topic is very useful from essay point of view. जहाँ पे what are the factors of social change, what brings social change, how education, mass media, and these things could be agent of social change. So very useful even from essay point of view. And if you see why I said कि in paper 100 is achievable, because if someone is going technical, doing thinkers properly, taking politics and society, systems of kinship and social change, along with stratification, is in safe position. And if you have done research methodology, that means yes, now you are for sure 180 plus. So ये आप demarcate कर सकते हो in sociology. That's the beauty. That's the best part. And why it is so? Because syllabus is very clearly mentioned. कि these are the things you have to study. And that's the reason why I told you, ki despite the fact many of the sociology students who get selected are engineering background. It's very common. They are mostly from engineering background, science background, you know. So that's how paper one. For paper one, I told you that to start with, that book is very good, Essentials of Sociology, Nitin Sangwan, that can be studied. So this way, when we talk about that, what exactly is, when we say what to do in paper one, I have not, look, again, when I came after ma'am's session, I had this challenge that there's no point of repeating the same thing, ki why sociology is a subject, and because that already had been communicated. So I wanted to throw light on something which is otherwise unconventional and often overlooked, but very decisive. So this was about that, what exactly in paper one, what to do and how to pursue. I know you had been sitting from quite a time now. So I would like to wind it up here. But then even, you're taking classes here, you're taking classes anywhere. One thing I would like to say, that this is your critical time, use it wisely. Don't get carried away. Many a time you get carried away. And don't be sloppy either. You know, people are sloppy, jumping here and there and so, because we are on information highway. इतनी सारी information है, online, offline, everyone is trying to lure you. Unfortunately, these days, you had become more a kind of customer to them. And that is something where obviously we should be very careful. It's your future, not there. So you need to be bit careful on this part, कि हाँ कैसे इसको persuade करना है, and so and so. So this was a little about whatever has been said, and a supplementation about paper one, कि paper one में क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं. Relatively close-ended है, topics बहुत clear हैं कि हाँ कहाँ पे focus करना है. So I hope I had made some point to you. Thank you. If you have any question, you can quickly ask. Anything? थिंकर ओवरऑल अगर हम देखें तो मेजर 6 हैं, और माइनर को मिला के बात करें तो 20 के आसपास. बट 20 पढ़ने नहीं है आपको, वो उनके नाम सिर्फ याद रखने हैं. जैसे कि से फॉर एग्जांपल राइट मिल्स कौन है, हैबरमास कौन है, उल्रिचबेक कौन है, इस तरह के कुछ 20-22 नाम आपको याद रखने होते हैं इन डिफरेंट डिफरेंट. माइकल मैन कौन है, तो उनके कुछ कुछ कंटेक्स्ट हैं, वहाँ पे नाम याद रखने हैं. उसका रीज़न है, उसका रीज़न ये है कि अब से फॉर एग्जांपल if I say something, I have not conducted any research, so I should know now who conducted that research and saying. That's why to quote that fellow, you need to know thinkers. But in total, I have calculated 20 minor and 6 major. That makes a total of 26. Fine. First, look at this thing ki, whenever you're having confusion between two or more optional, I told you that litmus test is your interest. That where is your interest? Because if you do not have interest, like say for example, any other subject, I don't want to name them, but any other subject, if you have more interest in there, you should go there. You should go there. If you don't have any interest, then read at least, because sociology is one of those subjects which is commonsensical topics like, you know, systems of kinship, how social change occur, social movement, religion. These are some of the topics. मुझे ऐसा कोई नहीं मिला जो जिसको sociology में मजा ना आता हो बातें करने. The topics are in self interesting because they are not technical. They are our day-to-day things. अब सिस्टम्स ऑफ किनशिप, फैमिली, मैरिज, फैमिली कैसे बदल रही है, मैरिज कैसे चेंज हो रहा है, इसमें मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई ऐसा होगा जिसकी बातें नहीं करता होगा. वी टॉक इन ऑन डे टू डे बेसिस. कास्ट क्या है, इनइक्वलिटीज़ क्यों है, यू नो, व्हाई सोसाइटी इज चेंजिंग, व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ रिलीजन, यू नो, देन व्हाट इज रोल ऑफ पावर, दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. सो जनरल व्हाट आई फाउंड that as those who are preparing for UPSC, it is very highly unlikely that they do not have interest in sociology. But again, Why I deliberately said introduction to sociology you should read? Because introduction to sociology in the first few chapters talks about thinkers. That's why I said ki read these few chapters so that you come to know that these are some of the thinkers I should be. You have to understand their point of views. So that's about sociology. Any other subject, you have to look into whether they have technicalities or not. Because let's say if you are thinking of say anthro you are talking about, you have to identify with the concerned teacher and all ki how much of technicalities it involve. But then decision should be yours. Decision should be yours, because if you ask me, मैं तो कहूँगा sociology अच्छी है, आप उनसे पूछोगे anthropology अच्छी है. And we are right at our places. We are not wrong. But you should be knowing which is good for you. And the best way to examine that is examine whether your interest is. And sociology helps you a lot in GS. This is what I can tell. Syllabus wise, relatively shorter, and not that technical. I'm not saying that way, but because sociology and anthropology almost 40% overlaps. Anthropology is nothing but sociology of specific societies, simply put, what Andre Bete sir had said. But the point remains that वहाँ पर थोड़ी technicality आ जाएगी, because biotechnology has stepped in now. If you know, in anthropology, biotechnology has come, a lot of geology is there, when you have to study what is called the evolution of Homo sapiens. तो वो आपको देखना होगा कि how comfortable you are with that, depending on your background, depending on your interest. Fine. Cons of sociology are two, and this is good. In fact, I would have said that, but I know ki you are a bit tired, so I thought better to wrap up now early. Cons, there are two. A, that for sociology, you need some sociological imagination. What is sociological imagination? Sometime, like someone is poor outside. Is that fellow poor because of that fellow, because of his problem, or is it society also to be blamed? If you can't see how society to be blamed for that, then sociology is not your cup of tea. Because that fellow is poor, maybe because he has not been given proper education, maybe support system was not good of the society. That's why this happened. This is called sociological imagination. So one of the cons is that for sociology, some imaginative capacity is needed. Not everyone is empowered with that. कुछ आपको थोड़ी सी इमेजिनेटिव कैपेसिटीज चाहिए होती हैं, जिसको यू कैन से दैट थिंकिंग अबाउट दोज बियॉन्ड द ऑब्वियस थिंग्स, जो सामने दिख रहा है उसके बियॉन्ड जाके भी. तो वो गरीब इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि वो कोई पढ़ नहीं पाया, इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि पढ़ना नहीं चाहता था, मे बी द सिस्टम्स वर नॉट फेवरिंग, थिंग्स वर नॉट फेवरिंग, एंड सो. तो एक तो कॉन्स वो है. दूसरा एक कॉन सोशियोलॉजी में कह सकते हैं दैट एज यू टॉकिंग जेनेरिक, you need to have little command on your language. Because जब आप जेनरिक चीजों पे लिखते हो ना, तो आपको थोड़ा सा लैंग्वेज पे अपना कमांड चाहिए होता है, वो तो जीएस में भी चाहिए. In fact, that's why I say कि that con is more positive for you, because it has happened, it happens to the student also, कि once they are done with the sociology, they feel that they got improved in their communication skills also. क्योंकि होता क्या है, अगर आप टेक्निकल चीजों में, जैसे आप इंजीनियर हो, इंजीनियरिंग कुछ बात करनी तो आप यार बड़े आसान से कम्युनिकेट कर पाओगे, बट वाइल टॉकिंग अबाउट डे टू डे थिंग्स, यू नीड अ न्यू सेट ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. तो अगर आपके पास वो लर्नर एटीट्यूड नहीं है, तो फिर थोड़ी सी दिक्कत आ सकती. कॉन्स में एक ये है कि थोड़ा सा व्हाट आई हैव सीन कि आपको इमेजिनेटिव पावर चाहिए, और थोड़ा सा यू शुड बी क्विक टू, or you should be accepting to learn the new ways of communication, unconventional to your engineering communication, unconventional to your scientific communication and all. वहाँ पे तो आपके पास वर्ड्स होते हैं, इंजीनियरिंग में तो सिर्फ वर्ड्स ही लिख दो तो भी काम चल जाता है. यहाँ पे यू हैव टू फ्रेम द थिंग्स, और वो जीएस में भी होगा. अब जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई आस्क यू दैट व्हाट आर योर व्यू पॉइंट्स ऑन फैमिली. अब फैमिली के व्यू पॉइंट्स लिखते समय यू नीड टू हैव वर्ड्स विद यू. अगर आपके पास वर्ड्स नहीं हो तो क्या लिखोगे फिर? तो आपके पास, क्योंकि जनरली व्हाट आई हैव सीन कि जो लोग साइंस बैकग्राउंड के हैं, जो ह्यूमैनिटीज नहीं पढ़ते उतना, उनका थोड़ा सा लेक्सिकॉन लेक्सिकॉन समझते हो आपकी अपनी जो डिक्शनरी होती है, जो आप वर्ड्स यूज करते हो डे टू डे कम्युनिकेशन में, वो थोड़ा कम होता है. दैट इज रिलेटिवली लेसर. दे डोंट हैव मच वर्ड्स एट देयर डिस्पोजल. उनके पास वही 20 25 30 वर्ड्स होते हैं, उन्हीं को घूम घूम के यूज करते हैं. तो वो आपको जीएस में भी हेल्प करेगा. अगर आपके पास जीएस में भी विल फेस दिस प्रॉब्लम if you don't have enough of, because you should know exactly which word should be used in this context. वो जीएस में भी होता है कि आपको पता होना चाहिए अगर आप अच्छा लिखना चाहते हो. बिकॉज वैसे भी ब्यूरोक्रेसी में चेक करते हैं इसलिए बिकॉज योर जॉब इज जॉब ऑफ कम्युनिकेटर. आप देख लो ब्यूरोक्रेट में एक चीज कॉमन जरूर होगी, दे आर गुड स्पीकर्स, दे नो गुड वर्ड्स, दे नो गुड फ्रेजेस, एंड दैट कैन बी लर्न. वो इतना मुश्किल काम नहीं होता, दैट कैन बी लर्न. लेकिन अगर लर्नर्स एटीट्यूड नहीं है उसको लेकर, तो फिर वो कई बार, जैसे कई बार ऐसा होता है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ आवर एक्सपीरियंसेस आई कैन टेल यू कि इन क्लासेस इट हैपेंस, आई से समथिंग and they don't understand that thing because of language, because of the word. That's why I say on to them on day one, मैं क्लास में पहले दिन बोलता हूँ, भाई कोई वर्ड समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो पूछ लेना, डोंट फील हेजिटेंट ऑन इट. मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही था. आई ऑल्सो केम फ्रॉम रूरल बैकग्राउंड, तो आई वॉज नॉट हेजिटेंट टू आस्क. अगर नहीं पूछा तो डिक्शनरी में चेक कर लिया, आजकल तो बहुत आसान है, 2 मिनट में गूगल पे चेक हो जाता है. बट यू नीड टू हैव अ बिट ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, राइट. वो मैं इंजीनियरिंग वाला काम नहीं चलेगा यहाँ पे कि, हालांकि इतना नहीं कि 150 वर्ड्स में आप क्या ही लिखोगे, लेकिन वर्ड्स आपके पास होने चाहिए. दैट इज समथिंग. सो कॉन्स की अगर हम बात करें तो एक कॉन से, और एक तीसरा कॉन है जो हो सकता है, बिकॉज पीपल गेट कॉम्प्लिसेंट कि अरे ये तो, इसमें क्या ही दिक्कत है. एक बहुत बड़ा कॉमन, सर बस इतना ही लिखना है, ये तो बहुत बेसिक बात हो गई. क्योंकि वो इंजीनियरिंग में लगता था जैसे कुछ यूनिक नहीं लिखेंगे, कुछ ऐड नहीं करेंगे, तो वो एक डिसोनेंस क्रिएट करता है. बट वो ठीक है, दैट कैन बी मैनेज्ड. बट हाँ, ये है कि यू नीड इमेजिनेटिव, दैट काइंड ऑफ इमेजिनेशन. इफ यू डोंट हैव दैट इमेजिनेशन देन इट माइट बी प्रॉब्लमेटिक. ऑलराइट, यस, डिल्स, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? डन. थैंक यू.